Welcome back. We're getting a divorce. The divorce papers are inside. I had just come home, holding my newborn daughter. Shocked by his cold words, I stood there in disbelief as John tried to walk out of the house. Snapping out of my daze, I grabbed his arm, desperate for an explanation. What do you mean by divorce? You need to explain this to me. Nothing special. I just don't love you anymore. John's words left me in utter despair. Was I the only one excited about starting a new life as a family of 3? John left without even glancing at our baby, carrying a big suitcase with him. My name is Mary, a 35-year-old housewife. I was drawn to John's take-charge personality because I'm usually timid. We started dating, and a year later, when I got pregnant, we got married. Then, with the sound of her first cry, I finally met my 6.6-pound little angel, a very healthy baby girl, my adorable little one. I emailed John a picture of our daughter and then called him, but he said something unbelievable. What is this? Huh? She's not cute. She looks like a monkey, haha. What are you talking about? She's your daughter. After that, John stopped contacting me, ignoring all my calls. I was in shock, unable to understand why he would say such things about our child. Looking back, John never showed much interest in the baby during my pregnancy and always seemed distant. I was worried about his attitude, but was too focused on enduring my severe morning sickness to confront him. During my hospital stay after giving birth, John never visited, increasing my anxiety. If he meets her, he'll change for sure. I kept repeating this to myself like a mantra, but my wish didn't come true. John disappeared, leaving me and our newborn daughter behind. I don't have anyone to rely on in times like this. What should I do? My parents have passed away, and my only relatives are my in-laws. My Phil is gentle and very kind, but my Mill is harsh, and I've always found her difficult. Mary, how long do you plan on being a housewife? Huh? Don't be lazy just because you're pregnant. Get a job and support yourself without relying on John. But John said he wanted me to take care of the home. I don't want to hear excuses. From now on, you'll balance work and parenting. Got it? Because of my rocky relationship with my Mill, I felt I couldn't rely on my in-laws. Feeling nothing but despair, I opened the door and went inside, planning to put my daughter in her crib. But what I found inside was shocking. What's this? All the baby supplies and furniture I had prepared for my daughter were gone. All that was left were my few belongings and the divorce papers on the floor. Unable to stand, I collapsed to the floor. Then John called. Maybe he changed his mind about the divorce? Maybe he's coming back. With a flicker of hope, I answered the phone. Hello, honey? Where are you? Come back soon. I forgot to mention, I sold the house. You need to be out by tomorrow. You've got to be kidding. What are we supposed to do? Become homeless or whatever? I was in shock. How much did John want to make me suffer? Unable to hold back my emotions, I sobbed and demanded an explanation. Why are you suddenly telling me we're getting divorced and you sold the house? What did I do wrong? Have you looked in the mirror since you got pregnant? What do you mean by that? Your face has been pale every day. It was like living with a ghost. John sneered and then continued in a cold tone. I married you because you always did what I said, but now I regret it. What? I'm divorcing you because I'm tired of your timid personality. That's so unfair. You're being completely selfish. I have nothing more to say to you. Pack your stuff and get out. Bye. For the first time, I felt a deep hatred for John. But no matter how much I blamed him, it wouldn't change the situation. Feeling despondent, I decided to leave the house to buy diapers and formula, which had disappeared. Just then, my previously sleeping daughter began to cry and wouldn't stop, no matter how much I tried to soothe her. Feeling betrayed by John and having lost our home, I was desperate to find a way to support my daughter. As I sat on a bench in the nearby park, trying to calm her down, an unexpected person appeared. You're not supposed to take a baby under a month-old outside. How irresponsible are you? You need to act like a mother. Oh, why are you here? Honestly, you know nothing. What if something happened to this child? How would you take responsibility? Apparently, knowing my discharge date, my Mill had come to the house, but she found no one there. Hearing the baby's cries, she found me in the park. After a harsh scolding, I couldn't hold back my tears anymore and started sobbing. Then I felt something warm on my back. I didn't mean to make you cry, but why are you here? Where's John? Explain everything to me. My Mill gently rubbed my back, trying to comfort me. Confused by this unexpected kindness, I slowly explained everything that had happened. John did that. Unforgivable. If you have no place to stay, come to my house. But No buts. I'll carry your things. Let's go. Following her lead, I went to my in-laws' house. As soon as we arrived, Mills said something surprising. Let's live together from now on. What? You don't have anywhere to go, do you? What, do you plan to become homeless with a baby? At least here, you'll have shelter and food. So let's do that. I couldn't hide my confusion. She had always been critical and dismissive, yet now she seemed like a different person. As I struggled for words, she gave me a regretful smile. I've treated you coldly before, haven't I? I'm really sorry. No, I've been telling John to step up as a father, but things turned out this way. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. No, it's not your fault. She slumped her shoulders, keeping her head bowed. Feeling flustered, a question suddenly came to my mind, and I decided to ask. I always thought you hated me. That's why you were so cold to me. But is there another reason? It was like looking at my younger self, and it drove me crazy. Here, I learned a fact I never knew. My gentle and kind Phil had been a philanderer in his youth, and John, who was similar in character, often got into trouble with women. Finally, my Mills said, I just wanted you to be a strong and resilient mother. That's why I was tough on you. I kept telling you to get a job so that even if you got divorced, you wouldn't struggle to make ends meet. All of Mills' harsh words had a purpose. I realized she was a genuinely warm-hearted person and felt immense gratitude. But why didn't you divorce your husband? If I were you, I can't stand the cheating. I would have definitely gotten a divorce. It's because I was the one supporting the household. What do you mean? He looked down on me, a stay-at-home mom, and went through women like nothing. But I was so angry that I started working. Eventually, I earned more than he did. Not wanting to give up his comfortable life, he became submissive, fearing I'd leave him. So, my Phil I see now is the result of his repentance. Exactly, and I thought staying together and making him regret it was the best punishment. As we talked, I found myself smiling without realizing it. But then, my Mills' expression suddenly turned serious. About John's sudden announcement of divorce. Do you think he might be having an affair and wants to be with that person? Did you notice anything odd about his behavior? Honestly, I have no idea, but I can't just let him divorce me without doing anything. I took out the divorce papers I had brought from home from my bag. Is this? My Mill and I exchanged glances, realizing something. I decided to make a plan. The next day, my Mill called John to execute the plan. I heard from Mary that you're getting a divorce. So she already told you, huh? I'm thrilled. It's a great decision to leave someone like her. You should remarry a younger and better woman, haha. Yeah, totally. I never want to see her gloomy face again. She might be living under a bridge somewhere now, haha. What a pathetic person. John completely believed that my Mill hated me. Not realizing I was listening, his arrogance fueled my anger. But John's nightmare was just beginning. Actually, there's someone I want to introduce you to. Oh, you've already found your next wife? Kind of. That's wonderful. I'll give you a gift for your new beginning. In a month, at $10,000 CD matures, and I'll give it to you as a wedding gift. Really? Of course. But you have to introduce her to me first. Don't rush into marriage before that, got it? Got it. I'll bring her to the house in a month, and don't forget about the money. My Mill's acting is amazing. John fell right into our trap, and Mill and I exchanged satisfied smiles. I decided to prepare for the day quietly. A month later, unaware of the trap, John proudly brought a young woman named Lisa to the in-laws' house. I stood firm, opened the door, and greeted them with welcome. What the hell are you doing here? John was about to fall over in shock, while Lisa looked completely confused. My Mill joined us, saying, "Come in," with an imposing tone, making them cautiously step into the living room. Mom, what's going on here? Mary, shall we begin? I presented photos of John and Lisa entering a hotel and a report detailing their activities over the past month. I'm going to sue you both for compensation. With all this evidence, there's no way out. Be prepared. Wait a minute. How did you gather this evidence? My Mill covered the cost for a private investigator. She said it's best to leave these things to the pros. Mom, why are you helping her? Oh, am I wrong? Who would side with someone so inconsiderate that they'd abandon their wife and child to remarry? What about the $10,000 gift? That was a lie to keep you from filing the divorce papers for a month. You tricked me. John was furious, and Lisa's face contorted with disappointment, clearly thinking things weren't supposed to go this way. I felt a sense of vindication, but was shocked by what John said next. We're already divorced. You can't sue for adultery now. John is right. I'm not paying any compensation. I was astounded by their ignorance. The The statute of limitations for claiming damages for adultery is 3 years from when you find out. Completely unaware of this basic fact, John and Lisa were smugly confident. I decided to enlighten them. Actually, we're still married. What? The divorce papers you left behind were never filed. Are you kidding me? Why didn't you file them? You announced the divorce without any explanation, so I couldn't accept it. Besides, you left a huge surprise the day you walked out. Confused, John and Lisa exchanged bewildered looks. This is your marriage registration, right? I thought it was lost. How did you get it? It was under the divorce papers. You're so careless, haha. Yes, the document I presented was the filled-out marriage registration for John and Lisa. The day I found it, my mill and I realized John intended to marry his affair partner. So, we deliberately delayed the divorce and gathered evidence to prove John was cheating while still married. I will never forgive you for abandoning our family. And Lisa, you'll be paying compensation too. As I declared this, John's face turned paler by the second. However, Lisa looked oddly triumphant. Oh, that's fine. As long as you get divorced, I'm happy. What? John is rich. He can pay the compensation easily, right? Hearing this, I finally understood the inconsistency about John. He never had a high salary. Yet, after a month, he was decked out in brand-name clothes. John must have pretended to be wealthy to Lisa. And I guessed he sold the furniture, baby supplies, and even the house to lavish gifts on his affair partner. I decided to set the record straight. Unfortunately, he's not rich at all. What are you talking about? His take-home pay is about $1,500 a month, quite low for his age. I should know I'm his wife. What? This is nothing like what he told me. John, is this true? Why the pale face, John? You look like a ghost, haha. Tell her the truth. Unable to speak, John hung his head in shame. Lisa, losing her patience, exploded in anger. I'm breaking off the engagement. I don't need a penniless man. Wait, please don't leave me. It was the first time I'd seen John so pathetic. As soon as Lisa announced the broken engagement, John knelt and begged, tears streaming down his face. Seeing this pitiful sight, my anger flared up, and I shouted to break up their argument. Enough. Take your fight somewhere else. Get out right now. The sudden shouting silenced them both. Finally, Mill, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. John, you are no longer my son. Mom, what do you mean by that? I'm cutting you off. Take that woman and get out now. Don't ever show your face to us again. Got it? Terrified by our fierce expressions, the two of them froze. I handed them the prepared agreement, making them promise to pay compensation and child support. With that, they fled the house. That same day, I submitted the divorce papers, officially ending my marriage with John. As expected, John and Lisa broke up shortly after. John had even borrowed money from loan sharks to maintain his facade of wealth. When debt collectors started calling his workplace, he was fired. Now he works day-to-day jobs to pay the $20,000 in alimony and $300 a month in child support. I also demanded $15,000 for compensation from Lisa, and I heard she ended up working nights to pay it off. As for me, I've built a strong relationship with my mill, whom I once feared. After the divorce, with no family of my own, my mill suggested I continue living with her, and I gratefully accepted. Starting a job and balancing it with childcare has been challenging, but I feel myself changing bit by bit. It's likely because I now have someone to protect as a mother, and because I've learned from my mill's example. I hope to continue living these peaceful days with my beloved daughter and my supportive in-laws.